Tuesday from 7 to 10. You get on your trash talking right here on Trash Talking Radio. And let me tell you something, no matter if you know what you're talking about. When it's all said and done, we're going to get funky like a monkey. Pay attention to the TrashTalkingRadio.com every Tuesday night. If you don't, this is Zach's Demolition. We'll come to your house and kick your stinking door down.
Hey, this is the Queen of Extreme Francine, and when I'm lonely, I listen to Mike Trash from 7 to 10 p.m. on Trash Talking Radio.
The following program contains scenes and language of a frank and explicit nature. Viewer discretion is advised.
In 5, 4, 3, 2, live now.
Yeah, this is Jumpin' Jim Brunzell, and you're listening to Trash Talking Radio every Tuesday night, 7 to 10.
Everybody's got a price for the $1 Million Man. And if you want to get your money's worth, then you need to be with Trash Talking Radio at Mike Trash every Tuesday from 7 to 10 at TrashTalkingRadio.com. Okay?
It's Trash Talking Radio. It's Tuesday night. It's the best night of the week. Once again, serving the counties of Dauphin, Santa Fe, and
all over.
And Arizona.
Arizona's not a county.
Las Vegas. I don't know. Not all counties. Anyway, I'm waiting for my video to end because it seems to be a pretty long video. There we go. And that is the video. If you didn't get the... Oh.
Just had to push a button.
Why didn't? Well, because you were a little slow starting it, so I figured I'd start it, and then you went to start it, and I said, no, don't start it again, because that would just stop it, and then okay, now I'm going to let you do it. I'm just
okay, good, because I had to get that out of my system.
Yeah. So now let's check, make sure everything's running.
Well, it looks awful red. Now it's the reflection on your shirt.
Yeah. All right, let's check Twitch, see if we're working. Yep, we're on working on Twitch. We're working, let's see here. Where are we at here? Where is it? Is this the new one? No, that's not the new one. Where's the new one at? Wait a minute. It's not working on Twitter. Why isn't my Twitter working? Twitter should be... Oh, I didn't refresh. Let's refresh. Let's see. Okay, Twitter, so if you're a Twitterite...
I know Periscope's working because the notification came up on my phone.
Oh, good. I didn't know that worked. I didn't know that... oh, yeah, I guess I did know that because back in the old days when I used to do Twitter exclusively, Twitter and Periscope, or Twitter, Periscope, and Facebook exclusively, I think I knew that. So, yeah, that's working. Okay, and then we'll refresh this just to make sure it's all working pretty and looking...
Ashley says hi.
So we're there. Okay, everything's working. Whew. After I had to tear my studio down because of the almost fire we had here the other day. Yeah, that was fun.
You mean last week?
Was it Monday and Sunday and Monday?
Not this week.
Yeah, it was. Wasn't it?
No, last week was Memorial Day.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, forgot about that. Ah, yeah, same thing.
I guess when you're retired, you lose track of time.
Well, that is true. That is true. Very, very true. It's easy to lose track of time. And actually, my favorite girl is in the...
Oh, she's back to being your favorite.
Hey, as long as she doesn't do anything stupid like marry somebody else, she'll...
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you know Natasha's still your favorite, too.
Oh, yeah, forgot about her. Well, how do I keep track of your thousands of kids?
I only have 4.
That's what all you claim to have.
Yeah. But only 3 talk to me.
That's right. That's right.
So 75%, like you told me before, is a good thing.
That's right. That's a passing grade. Hey, you notice the ocean's running again in the background, too.
We need the beach.
That is the beach.
No, that's the ocean.
Well, look, there's a guy surfing right there.
But there's no sand.
There is if you zoom back. A lot. I'm going to find some new clips. I got to find some new
You
clips.
better.
I just haven't had time because I've been really, really busy.
Oh, yeah, right.
I was walking the runway this week. Don't forget. So, all right. For anyone,
Yeah,
that,
okay.
anyone that really cares, I was in an audition this week in Washington D.C., land of our capital. And actually, it was just outside of D.C. It was in Virginia. And one of the things I had to do for the audition was walk the runway.
I still wish
I
I'd
wish
have
you
been
would
there.
have been there because it was a riot. It was that all of us lined up from oldest to the youngest. They did it. Oldest people did first, and like I thought, okay, I'm usually relatively shy about something like this because I don't want to look stupid.
You shy? Now, that is really hard to believe. You shy.
When I'm in my element, I do well. I'm not in my element there, so I had to do this with having absolutely no idea how to walk a runway. And
Were you the oldest one there?
no, well, I don't know. But I think I was the fourth one up. But I was watching other people, and like there were a lot of guys that were too macho to do anything. And I was really. I didn't. Since you didn't, I don't know if I can do this with. I'm going to stand up, but I'm afraid I'm going to knock things down. So I when I walked out there, I went, and then I went to get people to shout, and it worked. People were yelling, and screaming, and stuff. It was fun. So.
Now, what was the one piece of advice I gave you before you went in there? What did I tell you? Do you
I don't know.
remember?
I have no idea. I was scared out of my guts. I mean, because I was walking into something that wasn't even near my element.
No, but I told you when you get nervous, just go into Mike Trash mode and you'll be fine. And that's exactly what you did.
Well, I mean, I do what I know best. So I went out there and it was fun, actually. It was fun walking around. It was kind of fun.
I could hear all the screaming and cheering and
Well,
stuff.
I was at the beginning, so that's where most of the cheering was. I mean, not that I was the highest cheered, but I did get people going. Because every time I moved, I went like this, they just like got louder. We had to walk to the front of the right side, move to the middle, and then move to the end and do three things. And all three times I got a pop. So it was fun. It was different. But I watched the rest of the people, and it was funny because some guys were too cool to do anything. They just walked up and then walked to the next one, walked to the next one. I wasn't like that. I figured I'm going out in a blaze of glory. I'm going to look as stupid as I have to look to make it work. And I thought that it would work. I didn't pass the audition because I wasn't what they were looking for that time. But they took my information, and they said they would, if anything came up, they would definitely give us a call, or give me a call, or whoever.
Right.
So I did it. I enjoyed it. I had a good time, and that's all it's about, I need to network myself, so I need to go to those things. Even if I'm not going to get picked, I need to get myself out there.
And the more you get out there, the more experience you get, because they're not always going to have you walk the runway every time. They're going to have you do different things.
Well, and I also decided that I'm going to look into acting school. Maybe Barbizon or something like that. And then when they say, do you have any acting experience, I can say yes. If they say, you have any training, I can say yes.
Okay.
Because I do have acting experience, but I don't have a lot of acting experience other than with the wrestling. Because really, every week I was on TV or whatever, I was in the ring and stuff like that. That's all acting, and that's all. A lot of that's improv.
Okay.
So, I just figure.
Well, it's still real to me, damn it.
Well, it was real to me too, especially when I broke my different bones. They are very real to me. But the thing is, I figure I got to get out there. I got to do what I got to do to go out there and make it work. By the way, did you notice above the logo there's something flying? Look above. See the white?
Oh, that thing again.
Yeah, it moved again. So anyway, that's not a hole in your screen.
We're being ghosted.
Wait, it disappeared again. Wait, it's
No, it's still there.
That's the live.
Oh.
That's the live. Or wait.
Somewhere in there.
Yeah, it's difficult when you do it opposite of what. But anyway, I really think that it was the right thing to do. It was the right thing to go out there and do the thing, get my name out there. And like I said, if this may not have gone the way I wanted it to, but that's okay.
You learn from it. That's all that matters.
Well, and every time I do this, I learn a little bit more. So I just need to get in with the right company. And if I find the right company or they find me, the key is I need to get out there because they're not going to find me if I don't get out there.
Right.
And if I don't start acting somewhere to get my name out there, they're never going to find me. So, I thought about possibly doing, there's seminars that I get notifications on. They're in New York. They're in L.A. I may have to take advantage of them and actually go to one of them, go to one or two of them, go to whatever I have to go to get my exposure, to get people to see my product.
Okay.
Because until they see the product, they don't get it. They don't understand the product. But once they understand the product, then it's, then we have a whole new thing. So, I'm just trying to figure out my way on this path. It took me a while to do the wrestling. It took a while for people to get to know the name. Now I got to do it in this field. So,
well, if you ever need a driver, you know where to find me.
I didn't see you driving a whole lot. I drove most of the weekend. Speaking of which,
I drove down.
A little.
As long as the road was open. Sorry, I'm just not used to, it was something new. I got to take it easy.
I want to say hi to Buster because
yes, hi Buster, hi Buster's mom.
After the event, I took a detour on the way home and finally got to meet him after all these years of knowing him from the internet. I mean, when I first met him, quote unquote, he was in Alabama, and then he moved to Kansas City, and he wanted me to come out and see him in Kansas City. I didn't go out there, and then he's in Virginia now, he's on the other side of Virginia, so he couldn't be close enough that I could just, be there in a minute. It took me a long time to get there, but I had a good time. He had a good time. He said he had a good time, and I made him buy. So he bought me a nice rack of ribs, and I had them for dinner the next day as well as that night. So
did Buddy get the bones?
No, I ate the bones myself.
I believe that.
No, Buddy was very happy with the bones. So it was a good weekend. It was a very tiring weekend. I was really beat the next day because driving late and all that stuff isn't what I'm not used to doing that anymore. I used to do it every weekend, but now I don't do it that often. But it was a good time and it was a good weekend, and I was really happy that I did it. And I'm going to be doing it again and again and again until I got to talk to my friend in Philadelphia, because she always sends me these emails. You could be doing more with your acting. I might actually have to do it with her to get. I mean, not do it. Not do it, but do her program to learn her contacts, because that's what she does. I mean, all she does is she does introduction type things to people in the business. And that's what I need to do, but I don't need to do that first. I need to learn more about the business and then do what we got to do. Also, Danny, I know you're out there. I want you to know I can't help you with a transmission. The only transmission I do is Trash Talking Radio. I don't do cars, because I got a dead Jeep out in the parking lot with a transmission issue. So I hope you have luck with your transmission.
But we love you and we miss you, Danny.
However, if you read up on that transmission like you said you did on your Twitter, I may be hiring you to fix my Jeep. So anyway, all right, let's get the show started. And let's see what we can do about doing some fun stuff today. We're going to talk about the movies first.
No, we don't.
So we'll start with the three movies, Godzilla, Ma, and Rocket Man. They were out this week. And as we talked about, I said it was going to be Godzilla, Rocket Man, and Ma in that order. I said it was going to be that order, and it was that order. Wasn't that great? Trish said it was going to be Rocket Man, Godzilla, and Ma.
I think the numbers are wrong.
She was right.
I want to
3.
recount.
Well, then I get counted twice. But then it was, this was one that it was hard to say whether or not it was going to do well. But I think the problem is the Queen movie was Bohemian Rhapsody. When you think Bohemian Rhapsody, that's all you think of is Queen.
Of course.
When you think of Rocket Man, you think it could be a space movie. It can be.
No.
I don't think they did a good job of explaining that Rocket Man was Elton John. But anyway, Godzilla did $49 million. Rocket Man did $25 million. I said I said Godzilla was going to do $35 million. You said Godzilla was going to do $35 million. So we both tied on that. But I got a point for the being number one, and it did $50 million. I said Rocket Man was going to do $34 million because I thought it was going to do better than it did. It did $25 million. You said it was going to do $90 million. I think you were thinking 3 times. You thought Rocket Man was a 3 times movie.
Well, no, I was comparing it to,
Bohemian Rhapsody.
Yeah, and
However, if you look, we could look it up. I don't really remember what the first week was, but I don't think the first week they did. I think it was a steady thing. I think the first week they may have done 60, and then they just did a steady number every week. And the problem is that it opened with Bohemian Rhapsody opened with Godzilla. If it had opened on its own week, it may have done a lot. And hello, Michelle. Hello, Mike. So it may have done better if it had been a different week. The problem was because it did the same week, it was an issue. So that is where we ran into, let's see here. Didn't do what I said it was going to do. There we go. So it didn't do as well because, see, that didn't work because that put me way in the corner, way too much in the corner. Nobody puts baby in the corner. Yeah, that didn't.
I've heard that somewhere before.
Yeah. Well, that didn't work the way I wanted it to. That kind of sucks because I expected it to be something else. How can we make that a little bit better? Let's see. But anyway, well, it doesn't look that bad actually. That's okay. It'll work. Okay, we'll keep that. So my head's over the logo, so it's okay, and you're in the corner, so it did work out. Anyway,
Nobody puts baby in a corner.
That's what I said. Anyway, so Ma did a disappointing $18 million. I said it was going to do $15 million. You said it was going to do $30 million. That was Octavia Spencer's directing. I think maybe her debut. That movie, I think, is probably a good movie. The problem is it opened with Godzilla and Rocket Man. If that had opened a weekend where there was no big movies, they may have done better. But hey, that happens. So on the big three, we both. I said it would be Aladdin, Godzilla, and Rocket Man. It wasn't. You said it would be Rocket Man, Aladdin, Godzilla. It wasn't. It was indeed Godzilla, number 1 in the box office. Number 2 was Aladdin, and number 3 was Rocket Man. So I got a point. You got a point for number 2 because that was Aladdin, and you said it was going to be Aladdin, and I said that Rocket Man was going to be number 3, which it was at $25 million. So we didn't do so. We didn't do. I did all right. I did good. You sucked. I'm glad because you had that running streak of a couple weeks. Maybe it was 3 weeks. I don't know what it was, but I couldn't score anything. So
you don't like to be outdone, do you?
Well, I don't think I was this week or last week. Anyway, this week we only have 2 of them.
Thank God.
We have. Well, it's going to be a tough one though because these 2 are going to be really shaking it up. We've got Dark Phoenix is the first one. That is the new X-Men movie, which should do really well. X-Men movies generally, X-Men actually did better than the Avengers in the beginning because they were the first one out. And I started getting into this Avengers thing, and I started getting into the X-Men thing, and the Avengers kind of took a run at #1, and they kept it for a while, but the Avengers broke the characters out one by one, and you saw how they took and grew into the market, whereas the X-Men were a group. They were never really individuals, except for Wolverine. But he was in the original Avengers too, but none of them really broke out like we had Captain America and Thor and all that. They were individual movies. They didn't have that with the X-Men, pretty much. So yeah. So let's see here. I'm looking for the trailer. Which one is the trailer? I guess there we are. The one that says trailer is the trailer. So I think it'll be pretty. I think it'll be pretty strong. I think the Avengers ending and this one starting, it was probably good timing because everybody wants superheroes. So here is the Dark Phoenix trailer. So here we go.
The X-Men. The X-Men.
The X-Men.
The X-Men. It means so much to so many people.
They're grounded in real life emotions.
Him. Okay, you know who he is?
Who him is?
Wait a minute. Him.
No.
That's Dr. Xavier.
Oh.
He's the one in the wheelchair.
Oh.
But do you know who else he is?
No.
Do you remember the movie with Glass? The Glass movie?
Oh, yeah! The schizo guy.
Yeah, that's the schizo guy.
Yeah, Split.
His name is McAvoy. He's a good actor. And I think that he makes a good Dr. Xavier because he's got that. He's a great actor. He just is a great actor. And this will be a good movie.
Emotions.
By the way, you know who the first Dr. Xavier was, right?
No.
Picard.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, so he has big shoes to fill, but he's already done it on a movie or two. So.
I just get all those characters mixed up.
Well, me too.
It's empowering to see a group of people who are so different come together.
It's about strength,
Optimism. Acceptance.
This could be your new home. We could be your new family.
So I guess this is a prequel because he's got hair. So I'm thinking this is a prequel.
It fulfills all of the dreams that we had when we were younger.
And Dark Phoenix.
This is everything.
Everything comes to a head. And we're proud to be a part of this journey.
So, from all of us,
Thank you.
Thank you.
thank you.
You're welcome.
Without you, none of this would be possible.
I know. That it's true. It's true. Okay, what did I do? I screwed it up.
The X-Men universe isn't going to be the same after this.
One more time, old friend.
Ladies and gentlemen of NASA, this is Charles Xavier. Help is on the way.
And the werewolf guy is cool.
Woo!
And I'm really looking forward to this movie.
We're doing space missions now. Cool.
Get the astronauts, we bring them home. Go!
Heat signature's rising fast.
We gotta get out of here.
Where's Jean?
Where is she? She should be dead.
Oh, was that who I think it was? Looked like Jennifer Lawrence. I need to look.
Did you hear what the kids are calling you? Phoenix.
Hello, Jean.
Where did she go?
Who are you? The better question is, who are you?
I want to see.
She should be dead.
Yeah, it is her. That's her.
Did you hear what the kids are calling you? Phoenix.
Hello, Jean. Who are you? The better question is, who are you?
Something's happening to me. When I lose control, bad things happen. But it feels good.
That's always my philosophy too.
That power destroyed everything it ever came into contact with. Until you. The X-Men fear you. And what they fear, we seek to destroy.
She'll kill us all.
die.
She's still our friend. She's not Jean anymore.
This is going to be a really, really, really good action movie, by the way. If you liked X-Men, or Avengers, I'm sorry, if you liked Avengers and you aren't familiar with the X-Men, give it a chance, because I'm telling you, the X-Men, they are really, really, really good movies, and this one will be a very, very good movie.
Are you threatening me?
That's right.
That would be a bad idea.
So there you go. I have no doubt that will be a very top.
You in the city now.
Stop. You don't come out for another couple weeks, so.
Rich Gussie's going to be in New York on June 14th.
I know.
We need to go.
I will possibly go. I just haven't decided yet. Depends. All right, let me see here. Hold on. Gonna get this back up. Now,
hey, puppy.
How do I do this with the links? I need
the X-Men. The X-Men.
Stop. Now, where is your controller to do that? Oh, they don't have it on here. Well, that's really stupid. I can't post the links because I don't know where they are. Let's see here. Well, that doesn't work for me at all. Did they screw me over without giving me links?
Apparently so.
Well, that doesn't do them any good.
It'll keep you from doing it one way or the other.
Well, that kind of sucks because I wanted to... Okay, so that was from Zero Trailers. Okay. That's interesting. Wonder why I can't do that. Oh, wait. I need to have... Oh, wow, look at this. They got all these trailers. Ah. Well, Well, that's interesting. All right. Well, they kind of messed me up because I really wanted to give out the trailer information. All right. Here's a wait. Maybe I can do it with this one. Do they give it to me on this one? There we go. I'll use this one. There we go. It's not the same trailer, but it'll work. So we'll do that. Anyway, so that one's going to be up against...
How many theaters?
As soon as I get this done, I can tell you. I can't tell you till I get this done. There we go. Now I can get rid of this. And this. And move this over here. All right, it's in 3,500 theaters.
Okay.
And then we got The Secret Life of Pets, which everybody was waiting for this. I was waiting for this. I am looking forward to this one. And if we didn't see the first one, you're
I saw the first one.
Probably not going to miss out a whole lot because they generally put in enough information on the second one that will help you so that you don't have to worry about it.
Sweet pea.
Let me see. Which one should we do? We'll do this one, I guess. Raising a Kid TV spot. Let's try this one. And we'll see how that goes. If it... Ah, good. That one has one, too. Good. That way we can give the trailer information so that everyone can see it at their leisure. So, the first one came out... I think the first Secret Life of Pets came out like... I'm going to say 3 years ago. And I really like that movie, too. So, this should be good. So, here we go.
You never know what life is going to throw at you.
Oh, she's pregnant. Uh-oh. What happened there?
We know where you were, and you said it was an audition.
Raising a kid, it's not easy.
No. This way, buddy. Come on. No.
Gidget, could you watch, please?
I want to know what he did to get the cone on his neck.
Maybe they'll tell you in the movie.
It's like we're his parents. It's like you're the dad and I'm the mom and we're in a relationship and this is our baby.
Well...
It's exactly like that. Exactly.
The Secret Life of Pets 2.
Dave Donovan likes pizza.
Rated PG.
You're in the right place.
You guys be good. I'll see you later.
It's snow time, baby.
Now, you remember who the rabbit was, right? He was the bad guy in the first one. Okay, he's a good guy in this one. He has a superhero outfit.
I'm doing superhero stuff.
Snowballing back.
Do something crazy. Secret Life of Pets 2. Rated PG.
So there you go. All right. Is that enough information for you?
How many movies? How many theaters?
4,400.
Okay.
So, I know what you're going to say, so I took the opposite of what you're going to say. I'm giving you the chance to win.
You're giving me the chance? Okay.
Because you haven't won in a while, I figured I'd feel sorry for you. I'm guessing you're going to say Secret Pets of Life is first.
Well, of course.
And I said the Dark Phoenix was first just because I felt sorry for you. Okay, how many millions for the first one?
50.
50 million. I said it would be 40. So, all right, how many for the second one?
40.
40. Okay, and I said 45. So, that could be, I think it's going to be interesting because even though there are less theaters, I'm taking a chance on people remembering what the X-Men were. But it is a chance because there's no way for me to know where it's going to come in at. All right, who's your big three?
Pets was first.
Okay, Secret Life of Pets. You're going to go with that first. Okay, second.
Godzilla is second.
Oh, you're where did I put it there?
It's going to be a close second.
Yeah, see, the thing is, I don't know where to go with it because they got so many good movies. And what do you put in third?
Aladdin.
Aladdin. Okay. I picked, 1 is Dark Phoenix, 2 Secret Life of Pets, and Godzilla is number 3 is what I picked. I think Aladdin's out of steam. But I might be wrong. Aladdin did 42 last week. I kind of think it's going to go half. I think we're going to see half. I don't know. It's really hard to say because this is a tough one with these movies because they've really
yeah.
This is the movie season, so we're going to have a lot of tough ones this summer because there's a lot of movies coming out this summer that are pretty good. So I don't know. We'll see where we end up at, but I think it'll be interesting. So, all right. That's it for the movies. That was quick. We did a quick, actually, that was about our normal time, I guess. So, all right. Time to talk about something else. Where did I put my notes? Put it in here somewhere. Here we go. There we go. All right. Now we can go on to entertainment.
The only entertainment they need is us.
That's right. I should put that in that should be our new logo, or our new catchphrase. The only entertainment you really need on Tuesday nights.
Of course. Well, anytime.
Oh, by the way, what's his name? Josh with the Leaf.
Yeah.
Is kind of back, I think.
Kind of?
Well, I haven't made a connection yet. I don't know. I sent him a friend request, but I noticed he sent a friend request to Pam.
Oh.
So I'm thinking it might be a new account of his.
Okay.
But he was away for a little while, and I mean away.
Okay.
So.
Hi, puppy. There's your puppy.
All right, so I talked about the audition already, so I don't need to talk about that again. That's, I also wanted to put up, once again, if you were interested in Uncle Sam Band links, this is the link to find the Uncle Sam Band links. If you wanted to find my music, these are our label, did some legwork, and these are where you can find it. I'm going to post it on my Facebook. I'll probably do it on my Twitter, too. Just in case you wondered.
Sounds like the lyrics of a song. And your Twitter, too.
That is the not the original lyrics. That's the that's the other lyrics.
The unedited version.
No, that's the stuff I started. I started adding to it. Because remember when we wrote that, there was no Twitter.
True.
And when we wrote that, there really wasn't email either back then, because that was
way before I knew you.
Well, I think I wrote that in 91, 92, something like that. So, anyway, next. Okay, so I did that. We got that. We could do what? Let me see if we have time. Okay. I'll get it. I think I'll move on to other stuff. I was going to play a game, but...
one that I lose again?
Oh, you never lose. They're interesting. Sylvester Stallone is in the news.
Uh-oh.
No, it's good. I want to know what happened to Rambo. No.
Oh,
No.
I was going to say he still lives in Maryland.
Rocky, Sylvester Stallone, Rocky Horror. Dolph Lundgren nearly killed me on the set. I hated him.
Oh, wow.
That's what he said. There is a new Rocky movie. Nope. There is a new First Blood movie, Rambo movie.
Okay.
And actually, maybe we could do the trailer for that, because it's really a good trailer. Let me bring that up, because it's not out yet, so I didn't really do the trailer, but I could. Let me see if I can find it, because I only see it here and there. I don't see Rambo. Last Blood, I think it's called. Maybe it's not. Let me see here. Rambo teases shoot. Okay. The original. Let's see here. Where are we at? I saw. Where's it at? Is that it? First. No. No. Rambo knife from his first. Okay. Stallone works for Creed and Rambo Muscle Madness. I don't... Oh, rats. That's not it. Yeah, maybe it is. Let me see. Is this it? Nope, that's 1985. Well, I'll just talk about it, because I can't really give you a trailer, because I don't know where it is. But I've seen the trailer several times, and I'll tell you what, it looks really good. There is, without a doubt, a new... Oh, here it is. 2019 It's called Last Blood. Here you go. This is I think, if they let me play it, trailer concept. It's coming out 9/5.
What's that?
Amy! Are you okay?
Does not look like a...
There are 5 men, guns outside.
They're not gonna come out, guys. So we have to get in.
If they get in this house, we're dead. I need the girl.
Oh, it is. I think it is.
Go get her.
You don't ever mess with Rambo. If you saw the original Rambo movies, he's not a guy you want to mess with. He's a former military guy.
He is a legend of war. A soldier without a country. You know his name.
Rambo.
And you know what he's capable of.
This is supposed to be a really good movie, too. He just doesn't die.
Where the hell is he?
You never know where he is.
Jesus Christ.
I mean, the only difference is he's like 6 70 years old, but still good Rambo.
Don't be scared.
Last Blood. It looks like it's going to be pretty good. I can tell you, I'm very, very excited by this movie. Without a doubt, it's going to be a fun movie. I mean, I like Rambo movies anyway. I mean, it definitely is not a chick flick. It definitely is a real knock 'em down, drag 'em out type movie. So it'll be good. But so this the reason I bring it up is not just because there's a new movie, but because there is a where is it? Hold on. Here it is. So it talks about this here. Well, let's see if what do they play the? They don't play the. Do they play the first? Let me, okay, now I got to figure out. Okay, Rambo: Last Blood. You know what he's capable of. Note this is a fan-made conceptual trailer, not made purely for fun. It's not the real trailer. I've seen the real trailer, and the real trailer is really good. So that one here was not the real trailer, I guess. But the fun part about it is that he is putting this movie out, and from the stuff I've seen, it looks pretty nasty. It looks like, oh, there it is. I found it. Okay, let me first talk about the Dolph Lundgren thing. So he did this movie with Dolph, and Dolph nearly killed him on this movie because Dolph's a big guy. But says they don't really make hard men like they used to. We always knew Stallone as a tough guy, but he casually tossed out the news that he almost died filming Rocky IV. Dolph Lundgren's Ivan Drago has become an iconic movie villain. It's not just audiences who hated him. Stallone confessed he loathed the actor during the ceremony in his honor at the Cannes Film Festival this week. And the reason is he likes to make things look real. And there's a reason they look real, because they are real to a certain degree. He basically told the shocked audience about one terrifying fight sequence with Lundgren. He hit me so hard, he almost stopped my heart. That's enough to make you double think telling someone to hit you for real, because that guy has a lot of muscles and a lot of power. But says, next thing I know, I'm on a low altitude plane to an emergency room, and I'm in intensive care for 4 days, and there are all these nuns around. He got hit full force with the guy. So what's extraordinary is that Lundgren wasn't the only Rocky star to hospitalize Stallone. Now, the other one isn't really a surprise to me, but the other one ended up being Hulk Hogan, because he wanted Hogan in, I guess it was in 3. Hogan was Stallone's Rocky opponent. Well, he was supposed to do a sequence with. Well, he did a sequence with Hogan where Hogan threw him out of the ring. And that sequence, he didn't want Hogan to hold back. And he didn't know what he was asking, because he really almost kind of got himself killed there, too. So, but I'll tell you what, for a guy in his, I'm thinking late 60s, he is in good shape. Here you go. You can see how good of shape he's in. I think we're going to see that. I hope we're going to see that.
Ready? Yep.
He smashes pull-ups with 100-pound weights around his ankles. Do you see that? Oh, wait a minute. I got to turn this back on here. There. But I can't do a pull-up without any weight. When I see that,
how old did you say Stallone was?
I got to think he's got to be in his 70s.
Early 70s. Well, he's 72.
Okay.
Could be 73 in July.
So a guy that can do that with a 100-pound weight on his ankles, that's just insane.
He could be a ninja.
I would say that's a possibility. I'll tell you what, that guy And he's a tough guy. So, that to me, that takes a lot of power to do that. And a lot of, for a guy in even his 20s to be able to do that with 100-pound weights, that's just amazing. But, yeah, Josie's still in good shape. So, hold on here. I've got to save this. And there we go. We're on to the next thing. And we do this one, too. Okay. We do this one, too. There we go. There. Okay. So that's pretty intense. But, yeah, Rambo's Last Stand is going to be really good. Because the stuff I saw on that movie, he doesn't look like he's in his 70s. The guy looks like he's maybe in his 50s. But, let me see. Rambo gives, or Stallone gives a Rambo 5 update, says he wants to reboot Cobra as a TV show. That was one of his 80s shows, 80s movies. But he was a tough guy in that. Oh, yeah, here it is. Sylvester Stallone will be 73. But don't tell him that. He can't, He says, new look from the Rocky star, even wraps up Rambo 5. Now I can see the Rambo 5 thing now that I've got a link for it. There it is. Why Sylvester Stallone is killing off Rambo forever. So, who knows? He may die in this one. But, I don't know. Says here, the heart's willing, but the body says stay home. I can relate to that because that's the way I felt about wrestling, too. I want to keep doing it, but I just don't have it in me anymore because I just don't have the youth that what youth I had is gone. So it kind of sucks because I didn't really want to retire, but what can you do?
Keep going.
You can't keep going if you can't move. So, I mean, occasionally I'm going to do shows just because I can. But, we're going to see that other Rocky, or that other, what's his face? Rambo, yeah. So, could be interesting. Last week we talked about the heartbeat abortion bill in Georgia. And certain people said they're not going to film there anymore if that is going to be in the works.
Right.
Walking Dead might leave Georgia due to the heartbeat abortion bill.
Wow.
That's a big deal. Do you realize how much money that company makes for Georgia? It's a lot of money. It says here, AMC is the latest network to join the list of companies prepared to adjust its Georgia-based production if the state passes its abortion bill. Its highly restrictive legislation goes in effect. If it goes in effect, we will reevaluate our activity in Georgia, says an AMC spokesman. So that's a pretty scary thing to think that you could lose tons of money. In early May, Georgia's Governor Brian Kemp signed into law a bill that nearly all abortions after 6 weeks of conception are illegal. This prompted several companies, including CBS, NBC, Viacom, Sony, Netflix, and Disney, to threaten to pull production from the state if opponents are unable to dismantle the law before it goes into effect. So, that's a lot of money. We're talking billions of dollars out of Georgia if they don't fix it, if they don't change their ways. So if you're feeling that you believe in it that much, that you're willing to risk a lot of money coming into that's really what's going to happen. We're going to see a lot of companies pull their product. So I don't know. I think that it's a woman's prerogative to decide that, and not a company, not a state company. And no matter what we believe, I really wouldn't want to tell someone how to, Anyway, Rocket Man We talked about Rocket Man a little bit. Says here, Rocket Man is winning rave reviews, but don't expect Elton John to make a huge comeback. Elton John isn't hurting for money.
No, of course not.
I don't think that that's an issue. I think he decided that he wanted his story out there. But, if Bohemian Rhapsody is anything to go by, Elton John's catalog could enjoy a new lease on life. That means everybody's going to buy the Elton John music. Doesn't mean that that he needs to tour again. I mean, a lot of bands...
Well, isn't he on his 3-year final tour now? I believe he is.
Probably. It says here the 2018 movie about the rock band Queen grossed $51 million in its opening weekend. There's the answer. $51 million in its opening weekend.
Okay.
Versus $25 million. I think it would have done better if it was opening without Godzilla there. This sent the band's music back to the top of the charts for the first time in a decade. Most industry insiders don't expect Rocket Man to have the same impact on Elton John's music, but it might. I'm sure it's going to have an impact because people will be reminded he's still out there. And I mentioned this over the weekend to you, I think, is that he basically created a song category by himself.
Yeah.
And so there's no one that sounds like Elton. You're either Elton or you're not Elton John. And the nice thing about it is he was brutally honest about his role in that movie. But the bad thing about that movie was they had dancing and singing and stuff that belongs...
Jealous?
No, it took away from the movie. I think that that movie didn't
But that's
need
part
that.
of what he's known for.
Now, he wanted to tell his story, and the story didn't need dancing and singing because that wasn't part of the story. It was how do I want to explain this? It was not necessary to do that to tell his story, because his story was that he was troubled as a kid and he was trying to find his way, and he wanted to get involved in music, and pretty much that he had a great music ear for music, and
I still liked it.
I liked the movie.
It was done very well.
I liked the movie, but I thought that that part took away from the music. The dancing and stuff took away from the movie because it's not a musical. It's a documentary. So I don't know. I'd like to see him make it. I'd like to see him make it. I'd like to see him do well. I always liked Elton from day one that I heard him, and I admire him for the groundbreaking stuff that he did do. And it's interesting that he's still alive after the stuff he did, because I really think that most people would have. Well, I mean, take a look at Kurt Cobain.
Right.
He died after 3 years of being famous. For him to pull the stuff off that he was pulling some major stuff off, drinking and drugs and all that stuff.
He's a different kind of music, too.
The way it was told was the correct way. I think that you didn't see Freddie Mercury doing music videos in this. In other words, the music videos could have been cut and it would have been better. It was a long movie. It was like over 2 hours. So they could have cut those, and the integrity of the movie would have been better. So that's just my opinion, not necessarily that of anybody else's. Godzilla beat Aladdin and Rocket Man to claim the box office title. So that is something that some of us thought was going to happen. Actually, I didn't expect it to be.
It made sense.
I didn't expect it to be that big of a gap, though. I really thought they were going to be closer. But according to CNN, Godzilla was the king of the weekend box office, beating Aladdin and Elton John's biopic, Rocket Man. So we've got, Godzilla coming out of Warner Brothers, bringing back a 1950s subtitle. That's like, they did a Godzilla film like 5 years ago that had, it was really a lot different from this one, but it was a single Godzilla guy. It was not all these other things like the different characters that are in Godzilla. So it was, you know, I kind of, the last one was okay, but it was not really what I expected it to be. The earlier, the one that was out before. So I don't know. This one could be pretty good. I didn't say it, so I don't know. So okay, now let's see here.
Stories come to life. I didn't see men in rubber suits destroying scale model cities. I saw ancient, powerful, mythic beings battling for dominance and fighting out old grudges.
Pretty much. You know, even though they were guys in rubber suits, as a kid, you couldn't help but use your imagination to fill in the blanks. Even back then, I was inspired to make my own miniature Godzilla movies using my...
That would be weird to make your own little Godzilla movie, because it would be difficult.
My pet turtle, my Star Wars figures. My first instinct was to create Godzilla movies.
So this is a dream come true for you then,
Yes.
as a screen...
This is the director that's speaking. Uh-oh, what's going on here? Hey, come on, let's go. You're on the clock. Talk. We get paid to talk. Okay. All right, don't talk then. You had your chance. You had your chance in the spotlight. There we go.
Yes.
How did it happen?
I'm convinced it was a birthday wish when I was around the age of 10, and it took a few decades to manifest, but here we are.
Is there another creature that might stand a chance against him?
There are lots and lots and lots of monsters in this movie.
Yes.
Just explain to our viewers why.
Because.
Well, I mean, these creatures are the source for all of our ancient legends, the lore.
65th
about
anniversary.
Monsters, dragons, giants. You know, the Bible is full of dragons and whatnot.
Long live the king.
That would be kind of like Armageddon.
Yeah.
For those who don't know, how would you describe Godzilla movies?
Oh, geez, good question. You know, what's interesting about Godzilla movies is that they work on sort of multiple levels. A lot of people embrace the movies because of the very easy spectacle of seeing giant monsters battling each other.
But wouldn't we have seen these monsters before? I mean, Godzilla, where's he at? He's hidden. He's hiding in an island somewhere. Where'd these other monsters come from? Why are all these monsters just coming up now? I would think that we should see the Loch Ness Monster too.
But what's really there underneath all that is a strangely poignant and surprising message about mankind's connection to nature.
Mankind. Mick Foley.
Couldn't be more prescient.
Why is Mick Foley in this movie?
2019.
Surprise, surprise. You know, even though he's been warning us since 1954 about what might happen, I feel as if his message will always be there as long as it needs to be heard.
What's his message? What do you think his message is? Don't mess with Godzilla. Zilla. 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 All right, that didn't work out the way I expected it to. I expected to get to the next scene. All right, anyway. You're slacking.
I know. I'm occupied.
Yeah, I noticed.
Well, you keep changing on me.
Well, I'm here. You should be changing because nobody was going to do anything. All right. There's a new study that was out recently Now wait until the screen comes up. Because people are going to see this little slow-moving screen. This is a study that sees the links between video games and play. This is an interesting. I actually think that this has a lot of credence. Kids that play video games and violence. This new study actually talks about all of that, and it talks about there's a control group, and what they did was they put a set of kids in the control group and a set of kids outside the control group, and we got.
Okay, so do you guys remember those PSA commercials that said, "Here's your brain on drugs," and they used the fried egg? Well, in the future, there might be a PSA for brains on highly addictive online games like Fortnite, because neuroscientists are beginning to research the difference between the brains of gamers and the brains of non-gamers. So I want to bring in Becky Worley in San Francisco. Becky, what is it about this particular game that is such a cause for concern?
Now, first off, you got to think this is more to it than what they're basically trying to decide if we can put together something that explain why are we?
Because I had it
oh, there
back
we are.
there.
There we are. It didn't. Oh, I didn't see it. Oh, that's because I was looking at the wrong screen. Okay. So basically, they took a control group of people of kids that played video games, and then a control group of people that didn't play video games, and they put together these statistics that show that the people that play the video games are more aggressive and all that stuff. Now, that's something that I don't think it took a rocket scientist to figure this out, but they did actually
This is your brain on Fortnite, right? You know, Fortnite represents the pinnacle of gaming theory, Kimberly. It is really sophisticated in the research that's gone into sending out rewards. Think of you know, all the loot and the weapons that kids and players find as they go along. It's like a slot machine. They don't know when the next good thing is going to come. It's a really social game. Kids play and talk to their friends at the same time. And then there's the fact that it's mobile. It can go with them anywhere, and in fact, it goes with most kids everywhere. This is a really sophisticated game, and that led us to really listen to parents who are saying, it's like my kids get sucked in and they can't come out. Why? So we asked a neuroscientist, Dr. Andy Newberg, to do an fMRI of two kids, one a Fortnite gamer who played 15 to 20 hours a week, and the other a kid who didn't play Fortnite. And the results were pretty startling when we looked at the difference between their brains. This is no big study with a huge cohort, but it does reflect some of the research that's out there. I'll try and summarize pretty quickly here. We saw in the gamer's brain huge hits of dopamine as he watched Fortnite. This was different when he watched any other kind of video. It was different from the non-gamer's brain, and that can really lead scientists to worry about how those really habitual floods of dopamine affect the reward center of the brain. Kimberly, this is amazing. We know that gaming changes the physical structure of the brain, and some for good. It increases visual and spatial awareness areas of the brain, but then this reward center can lead to a change in addiction and the prevalence of addiction, and it really worried the mom of the kid whose brain we looked at.
Yeah, so one thing, you know, speaking of the parents, is this something that parents can actually control? Should they be the ones taking responsibility for this? I mean, this is the game of our era right now.
And I think screens are the parenting issue of our time. If parents take one thing away from this particular story, it's that teams of cognitive scientists are trying to figure out how to get that release of dopamine on an incredibly engaging schedule. And that kids, you know, when you think of all the other things that release dopamine in our brains, gambling, drugs, we have incredible controls on those, whether there are laws prohibiting them or at least age gates. So parents should know that it's unrealistic for them to expect their kids to self-regulate when they're up against such sophisticated cognitive science. So it's really up to parents to set time limits. And I always say use parental controls. It's gotten a lot better when we're using parental controls because they're automated and it takes some of the fighting out of the interaction between the parent and the kid. The parent doesn't want to be the bad guy, but in this case, setting boundaries and time limits is really an important aspect of showing your child you care.
All right, Becky, thank you so much. I just want to remind folks this is also the game that Prince Harry said that he wanted to have banned.
Oh, well, he's a killjoy. Anyway, so to conduct the study, they brought in a group of children between 8 and 12 and split them into different groups. Some played more violent video games using either a sword or a gun, while others used a non-violent version of the same video game. After 20 minutes, the children were placed in pairs and assigned a playroom. There were a variety of toys and games. To simulate a gun being hidden in the room, 2 unloaded guns were placed in cabinets in the same playroom. The children were video recorded during the entire encounter, and the researchers observed their behavior. The researchers concluded that there was a direct relationship between children who played the more violent version of the video game and unsafe gun behaviors. These children were more likely to touch a gun, spend longer time holding the gun, pull the trigger, and pull the trigger towards oneself or others, compared to children who played the non-violent game. I mean, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to come up with that conclusion, but they have data now that shows these kids having, and I really think that there's a direct correlation between shootings and these violent games, because we're less sensitive to them. When I was a kid, if someone got shot, we were like horrified. Now it happens every single day, and it's like, oh, another shooting. You know, people are less sensitive to all this stuff,
right?
Because we're seeing it all the time, and it's really sad, but it's true. And you know, you think about that. You think about how much our culture revolves around these video games. And we're not talking about just kids, we're talking about kids and adults, but we're less sensitive. Back when I was a kid, if someone broke into our house, we wouldn't know what to do. Today, if they break into your house,
you shoot them.
You shoot them. But we didn't have that. I mean, that's the good thing about it. But the bad thing is that there are more people getting shot. How many weeks have I gone by without talking about somebody being shot? Every week we talk about somebody being shot.
Especially in Florida.
Yeah, Florida. But even in, I have one I'm going to talk about today that just happened at the beach.
Oh, yeah.
And the guy quit his job, and right after he resigned, he went after the people he worked with. You know, it sounds like what would happen with me if... Hey,
wait a minute, I work with you.
Well, you're still alive, aren't you?
I think so.
Okay. Well, where are all the other assistants that I had? They may not be.
Well, they left.
Yeah, that's what you want to think. They might not have left.
Help!
Anyway, so that was an interesting study. Also, you know, that's become an everyday thing now because it's everybody. I mean, we are all used to hearing things like this. Anyway, next, WWE legend Ric Flair, who is not dead, by the way. Not like. Well, I'm hoping he's going to stay around because he got a new pacemaker after his health struggles. So that's good because we really don't want to see him die.
Well, we don't want to see Samu die either. So let's.
Well, that's another one. But Samu is so young compared to him too.
Yeah.
Samu's got to be around my age, I would think. But it's interesting to see that Ric Flair is alive and kicking. And I'm very happy that he didn't die yet. Hopefully he doesn't die. Well, I mean, we're all going to die.
Hey, your buddy Rob Noxious is there.
Hey, Rob. So, but yeah, it's good to see he is still hanging in there after all these years. Not Rob. I mean, I'm glad he's still hanging in there too. But that's that. What's this zombie thing? That's not Ric Flair, at least as far as I can tell. It's not him.
Maybe at Halloween.
Maybe it is. Oh, it's an ad for Amazon Fire. Huh. I didn't know zombies watched Amazon. I thought they would watch Walking Dead or something like that. Or
Must be an Amazon
iZombie. So watch what you love. I will tell you that it's fun to change channels with my Alexa. Okay, Ric Flair was hospitalized Thursday morning, though details are scarce. I hope this is the right TMZ. Oh, okay. This is the original story, so this is not really what I wanted to talk about. I guess we'll just skip this video because this isn't going to tell us anything, and we'll go back to my original story. All right, back up. Can we back up one more?
Well, if I go any further.
Here we go. Okay. All right. So it says here, Ric Flair, after being hospitalized in May, is a new pacemaker and plans to live for a long time. Alive and well, believe it or not, the 70-year-old WWE legend told Sports on Saturday, TMZ Sports. So Flair revealed that he had been hospitalized several times within the last 2 months, and that his condition at those times flew under the radar. He struggled with alcohol. He struggled with his son's death. I mean, he spent a lot of time partying in his time.
Did he have a pacemaker originally? And they put another one in?
I believe this is the first one.
Oh, okay.
So, here we are. They finally figured out what type. Okay. What happened was this is the fourth time I've been in the hospital in 7 weeks, he said. The other ones, I was able to lay low and go in for procedures. They finally figured out what type of pacemaker to put on me, which I found out just exactly how important the operation of your heart is, and you can't breathe if your heart's not working. He added, I stayed for 48 hours to make sure it was to make sure we've been trying everything. Flair revealed that he had a blood clot, which was remedied. I feel great, and I'm going to live to be 95, according to him.
Good.
So, the iconic wrestler says that Vince McMahon, Hulk Hogan, Charles Barkley, Ted DiBiase, Darius Rucker, and rapper Offset were among those to offer Flair their well wishes while he was under the weather. So, there you go.
Do you know who Darius Rucker is?
Yes.
Okay. Just checking.
Hootie?
Just checking. Just checking, that's all.
Not dealing with a chimp, you know. So, but anyway, that's the story of Ric
Getting
Flair.
that monkey off your back.
Might be the only thing that keeps me going. All right, so that's...
Well, I guess you've been replaced, buddy.
Stan Lee, if you remember, had been reported to have an issue before he died about elder abuses. He was being abused by
Gary Busey. No.
Stan Lee's former business partner, arrested on elder abuse charges.
Oh, jeez.
Well, we heard about this. His former business partner has been taken into custody after being charged with elder abuse. Those things catch up to you most times. So the guy, I think, had stolen money from him too, I believe. Just kind of, let me look here. It says here, Kia Morgan was in Scottsdale, Arizona when he was arrested Saturday, May 25th. Reports that currently circumstances surrounding the arrest were unknown. However, earlier this week, Morgan was charged with 5 separate counts of elder abuse in Los Angeles, with incidents alleged to have happened in June of 2018. While Lee, who passed away in November 2018 at 95, is not specifically named in the court documents, in July 2018, legal team requested a restraining order against him, claiming he mishandled more than $5 million of the comic book Legends money. They also claim the Lee suffered emotional and physical damages due to Morgan, who they claim tried to isolate Lee from his family. The restraining order was granted. So, yeah, it looks like he is in trouble for abusing Stan Lee. You know, Stan Lee has a lot of powerful friends.
Well, yeah.
He's got all the Avengers. So there you go. I saw that and I thought that was an interesting thing that happened. What else do we got here? Only got a couple more entertainment ones. This is interesting. You're a Jeopardy fan, right? Or are you?
Yes.
Okay, you know who John Holtzhauer is?
Yes, I've been watching.
You have been watching, huh?
Yeah.
I guess you've been watching him lose, huh?
I watched him lose last night, yes.
Wow, what a streak he had. 32-game winning streak.
Not as good as Ken Jennings.
I thought he had the top.
No.
Oh, he did?
No, he came close.
Okay.
Ken Jennings was higher, but this guy had a really unique style in what he did.
34-year-old confirmed his loss to the New York Times. Nobody likes to lose, but I'm very proud of how I did, and I exceeded my own expectations for the show, so I don't feel bad about it.
Holtzhauer, yeah.
Holtzhauer is second only to Ken Jennings in the highest winnings during regular season play. Jennings earned $2.5 million for 74 consecutive wins. 74 consecutive wins. That's almost equal to what I would have done.
Yeah, now, what's interesting is it took Jennings 74 wins to do this. It only took John 32 to get almost 2 points.
So who's better?
Honestly, they're both very good. But John took some risks that I don't know that Ken would have.
Boy, I'll tell you, I think about those things. I want to think I'd do great, but there's no way. Those people that are on Jeopardy, I don't know how they do it.
You not only have to be quick on the mind, you've got to be quick on the buzzer.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm okay with my okay intelligence. I don't need to prove it to anybody.
Now, the one thing I did notice, and I think I even read it somewhere, is that John Holtzhauer's strategy was to start at the bottom where the higher amounts are, clear them first, and then hunt for like the daily doubles. And when you find them, bet large amounts of money so that, you know, there was times that he really blew his opponents away. But I watched the game last night. I watched the show last night.
Is that the one he lost?
Yes.
Okay.
And he didn't lose by much, maybe like $2,000.
Wow. That's all it takes.
Yep. But he just, the lady that beat him was a librarian from Chicago.
Wow.
But she grew up in Philly. She's a Pennsylvania native, baby.
Okay, I was trying to figure out where you were going with that. Okay, update on Bret Hart's WWE Hall of Fame attacker. So we talked about this when the Hall of Fame business happened, and he was making his speech, and this idiot jumped him and then got beat up pretty bad for jumping him because there were a lot of people that like Bret Hart, and the only one that doesn't like Bret Hart was him. So the update is that this guy, let's see here, the man who attacked Hall of Famer Bret Hart and Natalya during the 2019 Hall of Fame induction ceremony in Brooklyn is scheduled back in court July 9th. He keeps getting pushed back. I think they should just throw him in jail and throw the key away and actually give him 10 minutes with Bret Hart. Let Bret go at him one-on-one rather than
or anybody of Bret's choosing.
Yeah, or anybody. Yes, let him go after Ronda Rousey. I'd like to see that. Ronda Rousey against Zach Madsen. He was scheduled to appear in King's criminal court this past Tuesday, but his lawyer asked for a second continuance of the case. He's scheduled to face charges on July 9th. He was charged with 2 counts of third-degree assault and trespassing. If found guilty, he could be facing up to a year in jail for each count. I think he should go for both. I think we should definitely see him in jail for 2 years because there was just no reason for him to do that. There was nothing that Bret did, and he did it for the fame. So if he wants to be famous, let him go to jail and be famous. There's no reason for him to, it says here WWE has edited the attack out of the 2019 Hall of Fame ceremony for the replays. And their statement was this: an over-exuberant fan surpassed our security at ringside and made his way briefly into the ring. The individual has been turned over to the proper authorities. It's noteworthy that Madsen's Twitter has been deleted. In months leading up to the ceremony, Madsen made a rumor of bizarre tweets at WWE personalities, including Triple H and Vince McMahon. Madsen, an amateur MMA fighter, he's not a very good MMA fighter because he got his ass kicked, is scheduled to appear in Lincoln, Nebraska courtroom on Monday, June 17th. He was arrested for stalking back in January after violating a protection order and stalking another MMA fighter in the arena. So he's got a history of this kind of stuff. A man named Harris Talundiz. The arrest was Madsen's third related to that man and violated the arrest order several times. So the guy's a troublemaker. I just think we should throw him in jail and just...
He must be one of your illegitimate children, then.
How many times have I been to jail?
Like I said, it's illegitimate. It could have got it from his mother's side.
I'm pretty legitimate. Anyway, so he's hopefully going to jail. I don't know. People try. When I was a kid, I'll never forget going down to the Zema Mosque with my dad and my mom and watching wrestling. And people that thought they were badasses, they ran in the ring after the Executioners.
Oh.
Now, the Executioners were Big John Studd under a mask and Killer Kowalski under a mask. Let me tell you, they beat the living daylights out of those two. The Executioners beat the living daylights out of the people that ran into the ring, including they ran into the ring with a chair.
Oh.
And let me tell you, that was not a smart idea.
No.
First off, you don't run in with a chair. Second off, you don't run in. And they got beat up pretty bad. And there's, it's self-defense at that point.
Yep.
Because they stormed the ring. So, anyway, all right. Let's see what else we got here. What do we got here? Oh, good. We're doing good time. All right. There's a couple things on here I wanted to do.
Puppy dog.
Got an update here on my solar batteries. I've got solar power. We're the only solar-powered radio show out there.
Woohoo!
And I'm getting batteries for my solar power, which means PP&L doesn't get my electricity before me. So I get to use all my electricity up before using theirs, which means mine will be significantly cheaper. I should get free electricity or next to free electricity. That's the way it was supposed to be.
See, I should live closer so I can get some too.
So you could plug in.
Uh-huh.
The problem with the solar panels is when we originally put the solar panels in, we were supposed to get solar credits, which I do get solar credits. But the solar credits were worth about $350, $360 per credit. They're now worth like $6.
Oh.
Now, let me tell you that my electric bill didn't go down. Did yours? No.
No.
So that means they're making $355 off each of my solar credits. I'm making $6, $5 off of each of my solar credits. So now I'm going to teach them that I'm not going to pay. I'm going to end up having them. I'll still probably get a small bill, but it won't be anything like what it's been. So, and in the wintertime, that's when it's really bad. So that's when I really need the batteries, because I need, it gets darker quicker and stuff like that. But I am going to get these batteries, and they're going to show my resistance to paying PP&L.
You don't like to pay any bill, I know that.
Well, I really hate paying criminals, and I think PP&L is a criminal, because they're basically a monopoly. They can choose to charge whatever they want to charge and pay me whatever they want for my solar credits. That's not right. So, wanted to talk about a couple things about this. I think you'll find this funny. One of the things that Tesla did when they added a change to the software was they made it so that the cameras will record if someone comes near your car.
Oh, that damn Trish alarm.
It's called Sentry Mode. So this Sentry Mode is what it's all about. Watch this Sentry Mode. This is intense. This was these guys walking down the street, and they saw a car that they liked, and they decided to key the car. Well, that's a Dodge Ram. Okay, so they're keying this Dodge Ram, but they also keyed the car, the Tesla, right next to it. And guess what? Those guys are on camera doing this, and they didn't know it. So, see, they're keying the car. Now, they went back. They got a big kick out of this. They thought it was really funny. Really funny. Except that when they go back to key it again, they didn't realize that Sentry Mode got them on camera.
Wow.
And see here, the guy's going to key again. I don't know what this guy did to him. Well, I don't know what...
Looks like it was his own truck.
But look, see, they keyed the car again. And so that means what? It means that they're going to go to jail. Because there's cameras everywhere, people. And if you're stupid enough to key a car...
Yeah.
You deserve to go to jail. So I was just so happy to see that, because I was like, wow, that means that I could have probably found who wrecked into my car back when it happened, but they didn't have Sentry Mode then.
Well, I'll tell you, driving your car is pretty sweet.
Ah, yeah. You kind of got the taste, don't you?
Uh-huh.
It was fun.
As long as it's a nice, calm, uncrowded highway, I'm fine.
Well,
but I'll tell you, the self-driving takes a little bit of getting used to it first.
Well, you know, it's something that you really have to trust the vehicle. So it takes a while to gain that trust, and
I don't think it took me that long, but it took a little bit.
I only pretty much use it on the highway because that's when it's best.
Right.
But because this version doesn't allow it doesn't see red lights and stuff like that, so it's not necessarily at the point where I would want to use it anywhere else.
Well, also, the thing that really just got to me at first, I mean, I've seen you put it in self-driving mode hundreds of times.
Yeah, because I use it a lot. I love that. I use that a lot.
But when I was behind the wheel and I first put it in, the car moved, and that's what. So I'm like, whoa, and I just wasn't ready for that. And really, after the way you explained it to Buster's mom, then it made sense to me.
What did I explain? What are you talking about?
That the car, like, we didn't realize how far to the left we actually do drive.
Yeah, that's true.
And when you put it in self-driving mode, the car centers itself, so it goes to the right.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, yeah, okay.
It's scary until you really trust the car. And you have to trust the car. That's the problem, is that we tend to not trust the car. Now, here's another thing that is kind of cool. So Tesla is going to be releasing a pickup truck.
A pick-em-up truck.
At $49,000. That's not bad for a pickup truck, because this is going to be, if this picture is what that pickup truck looks like, I like it. I really do
That'll
like
be your
that
next
truck.
One.
Well, I don't know. It might be, but that's a pretty sexy truck. And a pretty futuristic, too.
Wait a minute.
What?
I'm going to need a springboard or trampoline to jump up in there.
Well, I have a feeling that these things on the side of the car pull down for steps.
Okay.
Or you could get up there. I mean,
or like some of the buses out on the road today, they kneel in the front, so maybe that truck does too.
Well, I don't know. That sits up pretty high, though. But anyway, it's cheaper than undercovering Rivian's R1T. Now, this is actually directly going after Ford.
Oh.
So it says here that Elon Musk mentioned in the past that Tesla's upcoming vehicles, he's most excited about the electric car manufacturer's pickup truck. and he gave some interesting details about it. It says here that it's Musk noted that the Tesla pickup truck would have a starting price of $49,000 at most. He also pointed out that the company is looking to get a vehicle well under $50,000, and you should be able to buy a really great truck for $49,000 or less. At the starting price of $49,000, the pickup truck will undercut the Rivian R1T, an all-electric truck that's been critically acclaimed since its unveiling last year. Compared to the Tesla truck, the R1T will carry a significant premium, starting at $69,000.
Oh, wow.
So they're trying to keep their status as the #1 electric car manufacturer and truck manufacturer. It says here that should be noted that the Rivian R1T is entering the market as a luxury adventure pickup truck, which could also be suggested that the Silicon Valley-based electric car manufacturer is going after another demographic. So I don't know. It could be interesting if this ends up, it says here, noted that the Tesla truck is likely to be polarizing for buyers, that the design might be futuristic for some people. He stated that the vehicle would be have the functionalities of a truck and more. And he noted that Tesla's goal for the pickup is to be better than a Ford F-150 in terms of functionality and better than the Porsche 911 in terms of sports car attributes. It's going to be a truck that's more capable than other trucks. So it's going to be a fast truck. And it says here that noted that the Tesla pickup will have 6 seats and 400 to 500 miles of range per charge. That's a lot.
Okay, so you buy me one, and I'll race it against your Tesla.
Dual motors, all-wheel drive, a 240-volt connection for heavy-duty heavy-duty tools, and 300 pounds of towing capacity, to name a few. 300,000 pounds of towing capacity is pretty good, and I wouldn't mind having a truck like that. So
you buy me one, and we'll race it against the Tesla.
I don't know where that's going to... I mean, I'm not sure. It may be faster. It's hard to say. But it's very...
I think a lot of it, too, depends on the driver. If you've got somebody that's a safe driver that doesn't like to race, they're going to go a little slower, but they're going to think they want to try to beat you.
Buster said that when I talked to him, he said, "How fast? What mode were you in when you?" I showed him what Ludicrous mode was, and I didn't show him Ludicrous Plus mode, but I did show him Ludicrous mode. So
yeah, and you knocked my glasses off my head. Yep.
And
because I wasn't expecting it.
Yeah, well,
I should know that. I should know better when I'm riding with you.
But anyway, this is a nice, sexy truck. I think it definitely has that Tesla look. So I'm very excited about when this comes out. I mean, I'm not sure that's... I mean, I like my car. Don't get me wrong. But I like the idea of 400 to 600 miles to a charge. So...
I like your car too, but I like it better when it flies with the wings.
Yeah. I forget what that was. What's that story about? I forget what it is. I forgot.
Uh-oh, that's not good.
No, I'm pulling it up because I can't remember what this story is. Got a Cuphead working on a Tesla.
What is
Cuphead? I forget what that is. Oh, okay, I know what that is. So Cuphead is remember we talked a week or two ago that they were getting the engine for Fortnite put into the car. Cuphead is another company that makes video games.
Oh.
So that'll be interesting because you can play other games. So they're looking at making your car more interesting and putting features that no other car has. So Cuphead is a company that makes video games or makes engines for video games that if they put that into the dash, the computer
in
dash,
a trunk,
then people can play those video games coming up. So we'll see what happens. I don't know if that's not my motivation for having one. This is interesting though. How would you like to have a BMW motorcycle that's all electric.
Really?
So here we've got this. It's called the BMW C Evolution. It's this motorcycle right here. Now, what makes this really good is that you're looking at paying about $14,000 for it.
It also means I have to get my motorcycle license.
Well, but it's actually pretty capable. Well, first off, it's BMW, so you're going to pay because it's a higher end, supposedly. So that's interesting. But what's also interesting is they're going to put a roof on it for bad weather.
Oh, nice.
So